You're listening to the Tao of Indifference, sex, dating, and relationship advice for an indifferent world. For more advice and tips, check out taoofindifference.com or follow us on Twitter at indifferent_D.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to this episode of the Tao of Indifference. I am Demetrius at indifferent_D on Twitter. I am joined by Emily Roberts, therapist, TV personality, author, a whole bunch of other stuff. And you can find her on Twitter at Emily.
At guidancegirlmem.com. Dee, thanks for having me.
Thank you for letting me have you on the podcast. Today's episode is a quick episode. It is 10 things to do to make your first online date a success. These 10 things are going to be split between the guys. Emily will be covering that. And the ladies. I got you covered, ladies. So,
on our last one, we talked about what not to do, so you should probably give them what to do, right?
Yeah, they should probably do these things.
So, I guess I'm going to be covering the guys, right?
Yes.
All right, so I guess I'll start with number one. I think this is so annoying when people, even if it's my friends, but look at her, not your phone. If you have your phone on the table, that's totally fine. Put the phone maybe down, like where the face is down. Yeah. If you have a very important job, I do, right? Sometimes people have to call me and I have to keep my phone on. I always tell my date, or I tell somebody that I'm going to dinner with, hey, I've got to keep my phone out and check it because of my clients. But I'm happy, but if I do, I also say to them, I'm so sorry, I have to check my phone really quick. I'm not looking at it constantly because that makes other people feel, and when other people do it to me, it makes me feel like they're not interested in talking to me or they're bored, so they're going to be texting their friends and stuff like that.
So I shouldn't look at my favorite BuzzFeed articles.
No, you also shouldn't, you shouldn't be on your phone and saying oh my God, have you read this? I mean, that can be used later on, but it makes me feel unimportant, and so don't do that. 2, ask questions. Ask me questions about myself. Don't just talk about you, right? Ask me questions. If you don't remember stuff from my profile, that's totally cool. I mean, we have lives. You've read probably how many BuzzFeeds this week or been on Facebook. A lot of things come in. But if you're like, hey, so where are you from again? I forgot. Instead of assuming I'm from the last date you went on, the girl, I had that happen to me. A guy took me on a date and he's like, you're from Alaska. I'm like, I'm from Texas. Different places completely.
Very different.
Don't guess because it makes me feel invalidated and I'm probably going to be a little less attracted to you. But if you ask me, say, I forgot, I don't remember where you're from. Oh, God, you're just genuine. That's kind of hot.
Yeah.
Points.
I actually used to, I would ask questions I knew the answer to just to have the conversation.
Ooh, that's good, Dee. I like that. That.
So I know, if I went on a date with a girl and I knew she was from Texas, I'd be like, wait, you're from Texas, right?
Yeah,
because I know. But...
Right. Have you ever been? It starts the conversation off, and it's good. Okay. Flirt. Don't flirt touch me weird. Don't tickle my elbow or whisper weird things in my ear. If you're attracted to me, don't touch me in a weird way. Maybe be generally kind of attracted, but don't creep me out a little bit.
Yeah, don't be creepy.
Flirt though with smile, build a rapport, be silly. That brings me to the next thing. Make me laugh. You have to make me laugh. It doesn't have to be you have to be super duper, hilarious Dane Cook style, right? Yeah. Which would totally get me into bed. But you do have to, have a sense of humor and not take life too seriously. I think that that's really important. No matter who you're going on a date with, I think if you can get someone to laugh, it breaks the ice.
Yeah.
And also don't use something super general, you know what I mean? Or super basic. You make me laugh by, just talking about something or being happy and enjoying it. We can laugh together. That's a lot of pressure, I guess, make me laugh, huh?
No, I mean...
From a guy's perspective?
From my perspective, you can make somebody laugh. Now, you don't have to tell them a joke, but you just tell them a funny story that happened to you.
Okay, yeah, I like that idea. But share something with me that's personal, but not too personal.
Yeah, if it's funny, they'll probably laugh. If they don't, then they probably just don't share your sense of humor.
Right. Right. And that's good to know on a first date.
But yeah, no, every guy has a funny story that they can tell, so.
Okay, good. I like that. Tell us a funny story or make me laugh in some regard. And then the last one is... if you are interested, then make a plan or a tentative plan with me and follow up on it. Because there's nothing worse than like you had said in the previous podcast, don't be fake, right? Or don't be pretend to like me and then and I'm holding out for you. And it's not like I'm holding out, but maybe I am holding out or maybe I am excited to see you again. Playing games will get you nowhere. But if you're I'd like to see you later this week, what days are you free? And make a tentative plan, I think that is so attractive. And it also, it's genuine. You know what I mean? So again, these are things, be honest and, those are my 5, I think.
Great.
Be honest.
All right.
Yours. Let's go. For the ladies, let's do it, Dee.
Let's do it. Ladies, first things first, please look like your picture.
Oh, yeah. Guys, too.
Yeah.
Don't look like you ate your picture.
Don't look like you
I went on a date with a guy who looked like and bless his heart, clearly had taken that picture when he was like maybe a high school student. He was pretty hot, and I'm not going for high school guys, but he was pretty hot.
Right.
There's no way you can gain that much weight in a matter of time, like 6 months to a year.
You need to have pictures that are current, pictures that look like you and they're not from weird angles. Include a full body picture on your profile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean a full body picture of you wearing nothing. I know you might enjoy that, but no, a full body picture where you're with somebody else even is fine, as long as it's with your girlfriends. And not all your girlfriends, right?
No.
Oh, isn't that the worst?
Because then I don't know who you are.
Exactly.
Especially if all your girlfriends are like blondes and you're blonde.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really confusing. Second one is dress for your date. If you are going on a date...
So I should wear like flip-flops and sneakers and like...
if you're going on a beach date, you should definitely wear flip-flops.
Okay. So, but what about where I'm going?
If you don't know where you're going, you have to ask.
Okay, good idea.
Because if you're going on... Most importantly, I've been on several dates that have been on the High Line. And I told my dates, we're going to the High Line. The High Line is a walking park.
Yeah.
And
so
girls would show up in heels.
Right. Okay, so that makes it awkward for everybody.
It makes it awkward. It sort of changes the plans. You have to sort of think on the fly what you can do if you're limited. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't wear heels on a date. If you're going to a place that heels are appropriate, dress for that place.
Gotcha. That's good. That's good advice.
So, yeah. Third one is be tactful. What I mean by that is you should avoid being overly sarcastic. Even if that's your sense of humor, you're just meaning this.
Overly sarcastic? What do you mean? Like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Don't be passive-aggressive.
What does that look like? Have you seen that in a girl before?
When you go to a place and she sort of gives you the, this place is nice, but, I heard this other place is much better. It's like...
Yeah, that's...
Oh, no.
Yeah. That's judgy. It's
Being judgy, things like that. Just...
It's a first date. Try to avoid it. Right?
Even if you don't like the place, even if it's not your favorite place, if you are going to bring it up, my next tip is be nice about it. Be nice.
Yeah,
So
be nice.
Be nice to people. If you don't like your food, that's okay. But there's a way to say, no, I didn't really like the food, as opposed to, oh, this food was gross. It was disgusting.
Or I've had better. I think that's great. Is if if the food isn't good, it doesn't mean like, oh yeah, I loved it and eat it, and then you get sick. But you're like, I wasn't feeling it, but yours looked really good. Try and make, one of the things I tell people, not to jump on what you're saying, is try and make it like a positive sandwich. Like, it looked really good. It wasn't exactly what I was hoping it would be, but yours looked great.
Yeah.
So try and make two positives around the negative comments so they don't think it's about you, because people take that so seriously.
They do take it seriously.
Yeah.
Even if something as small as I didn't enjoy my food.
That would make me feel, if I had picked the place, I'd feel bad. Like it was my fault.
I've had that happen to me plenty of times.
Okay, so that's a great point. Don't complain about the place. Try and be nice about it.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And lastly, offer to pay. And have the money to pay for it, by the way. Don't offer to pay if you can't afford it.
Well, so some girls, and I agree with you, Dee, I think that, for me, I always thought of the first and second date, a lot of dates actually, as like almost a meeting. Like, I'm going to split it with you because I'm meeting you. We're both going, we don't know each other. Yeah. But what would you say to some of those traditionalists out there? We're like, she should never pay.
Well, the traditionalists...
Don't live in Manhattan.
Don't live in Manhattan. If you are a traditional woman and you want the guy to pay for every date, I mean, that's unrealistic because,
you're just meeting on a first date,
You're meeting
right?
on a first date. But if you insist upon being the type of person who has to have the first date paid for by the guy, you still offer because the guy who accepts it is probably not the guy for you.
Oh, that is so good, Dee. That was a great point.
You just saved yourself a bunch of money.
In the long run. There you go. Yes. Okay, and so I've done that too on dates, but if the guy pays for it and I'm like in the bathroom or he doesn't let me pay.
Sure. What
would be a good way to show him that I'm thankful besides just saying thank you? And besides not going...
Well, you should also be thankful.
Yeah. Not doing something that puts me in a compromising position.
Exactly. You can always offer to get someone a drink at the next bar or buy their next drink, or if your date is wrapping up, you're not going anywhere after that, you can always offer to pay on the next date.
One of the things that I remember someone told me a long time ago, I don't remember who it was, but they said, well, offer to pay. And so I did, and the guy was like, I'm so offended that you would offer to pay. And I was kind of like, well, I just, I felt uncomfortable about that.
Yeah.
What would you say to girls who the guy won't let them pay and are kind of like, almost like...
I think you should just be honest about why you're offering to pay.
Yeah, because I had a good time, and I'm just sure.
I had a good time. I didn't want you to feel like you...
owe me anything.
Exactly.
Right, okay.
Or I owe you anything, but I'm sorry if I offended you. And that's
you
it.
can buy me another drink at the next bar. There we go.
Absolutely, yeah.
Or next time. Okay, good. Well, those are great tips. I really like them. So until next time, this is Emily Roberts at Guidance Girl M. Thank you, Dee, for having me.
Of course.
And you can tweet us at
indifferent_D.
And Guidance Girl M on Twitter, or you can visit our websites, which is Dee's is
DalvinDifference.com.
and mine is theguidancegirl.com. We want to hear your comments, so don't forget to tweet us or email us. We'll talk to you guys soon.
All right. Good luck out there. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Tao of Indifference podcast. If you liked this episode and want more sex, dating, and relationship advice, subscribe to the Tao of Indifference on iTunes or Stitcher. Follow us on Twitter at indifferent_D and check out the blog at taoofindifference.com for more sex, dating, and relationship advice. Thank you for listening and good luck out there.